Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Kormadim Wellness Wednesdays.
Good morning.
Welcome and thank you for being here as always.
Pleasure.
This month at Kormadim, we are going to talk about emotional wellness, and we are going to share our expansion with our clients. As we said last month, I have written a book that I'm launching in May, and we are going to start addressing all of the subjects and all of the things that I've written in the book,
Good.
and how we can integrate it in our life. So we are going to start today, and we are going to talk about depression. Now, depression is something we work with in the practice every day, and depression is a very sore subject. It's a very sensitive subject. It's a very painful matter. And you and I are really going to go into it and talk about depression, how people see it, how the world perceives it, what we can do to release it in our lives, and really go into this illness. It is such a great illness in the world today. Every second person you meet has depression, is on antidepressant medication, says that I am depressed or I feel depressed. It is such a big thing in life, in society. And I think that we really need to address emotional wellness, and we're going to start with depression. So, Dr. Julia, what is depression?
You see, when I was a medical student, I would tell you it was disease of adults. But now, as I see, it's disease of kids, teenagers, and everything. Actually, I think it started to be very modern disease, very popular disease, because so many reasons in our world now to create depression. That is why nearly every second, every third client which comes to us, they have depression. Depression, it is a so emotional condition when you are not interested in life at all. You don't enjoy your life. You don't have motivation. Motivation is very low. We say you have apathy. Apathy means you are neutral and numb for everything. You can't be too emotional when you are happy. You can't be too down when something happens. It means you are completely numb to everything. Numbness. And no motivation, no joy, no life drive that you want to do something, you want to achieve. And actually, it's very, it's difficult people if somebody is depressed around you, it's very difficult people to live in everything, because it's like so big numbness, especially with antidepressants, they make it much worse. They don't really, the way how I see depression, we need to find the reason. It could be problems with the hormones, very popular is also with endocrine system. It could be when people suppress your self-esteem, self-confidence, and that is why you completely feel you are a loser, and that is why also depression is coming. You're not happy at work, in a family, and actually you don't know how to change. You don't have right people. You don't have right people around you to tell you, please, find out the reason of your depression. Everybody has his own reasons to be depressed.
So, are there also different types of depression?
Yes.
And there's different symptoms for depression. And depression can be caused by various things. Now, as a wellness practitioner, I have been taught that depression is anger turned inward. That is what I was taught. I was taught if you go and you really look at depression and what depression looks like, it has got a lot to do with this anger, but I've taken that anger and I'm not exploding it outwardly. I'm keeping it inside and holding it into my body, and then that can manifest as depression. I also have learned that you can get depression after a trauma. You can get depression after a shock.
Yes.
So for me, what I want to ask you today is there's various sides to depression. For me, there is depression that can occur in your life and then you go through a depressive time or a depressing time, but with help and assistance you can overcome it. But then you get people who are depressed for their life for years.
Yes.
Can you tell me about depression in the genetic line? Is there something like, if my grandfather was depressed and my dad was depressed, can I then be more susceptible to depression than someone who has never had it in their life?
Yes, you see, we have certain like genes which connects with depression, but I would tell you, when I start to work as a holistic doctor, I would tell you it is more the way how you are thinking, how you are coping, your coping mechanism with certain stressful situations in your life. For example, you had a granny when something happened, and how she reacts. She was immediately passive, shock, and after that she was numb. That is why it was her way of reaction for certain traumatic situation in her life. But you as a granddaughter, you see how your mother doing the same, how your grandmother doing the same, and actually you repeat the same way, this is the same coping mechanism, and you're also depressed. That is why I don't know now actually if it's genetic or if it's a patterns, psychological patterns which we took as a children from our parents and grandparents subconsciously.
Yeah. And you see, you and I are always chalk and cheese. We are always each other's opposite. Because I don't think, have you ever been depressed in your life? Have you ever had depression?
I think when after my kids were born, yes. I think.
So you had postnatal depression.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Also, I think I was when I was completely neutral and nothing, but not really a long time. I think because I always had motivation like kids or something that I have to just come back to normal life and do something.
So I am going to be the other side
no
of the
problem,
coin,
yes.
because you know me. I have struggled with depression most of my life. You know that. And when you met me, I was a completely different woman
Right now,
to the woman I am today. And all the years that I have spent overcoming depression and understanding it and working with it, I only really started integrating it 2 years ago when I met you. And a lot of things happened at once for me. I discovered access bar therapy, I discovered color therapy, I met you, you gave me the homeopathic remedies, we did your treatment on your bioresonance machine, and I got drips, and as you know, I started ADHD medication. So all 6 of those things happened to me at once, and my life started to change. And my life started to expand, and I started using all these tools and doing all of those things. So that is why I want us to have this discussion this morning, because a lot of times people who have not really walked
through
a lifetime of depression can look at other people and say, snap out of it, get over it, get your thoughts ready, have a better mindset. And for me, I have always been a positive person. I was raised by very strong parents. My father is one of the most positive people I've ever met. That man does not lie down or buckle down for anything. So I was raised with pessimism doesn't exist. We will always look for the gratitude in everything. And I have done so many courses since the age of 26, where they would say, it's in your mindset, do your affirmations, do your inner work. And I tried all of it, and I always fought, but it was a very exhausting journey until I met you, I found the bars, and I started integrating a lot for me. Now I can tell you, 2 years have passed. It's been a year and a half that I have never ever again had a depressive episode, felt depressed, had any of those symptoms ever in a year and a half. I've never ever had it. I'm free of it. But what did I do?
you work from physical body, emotional body, spiritual body, and mental body. You work with all 4 bodies.
I integrate it.
Yes.
And that is why it's very important. Dr. Julia said something amazing now. She said, people who do not live with depression, people who do not have depression, will never understand what a person with depression goes through. People will say to you, snap out of it, get over it. The person that has the depression needs to release the pain and the expectation of, you don't understand what I'm going through.
Yes.
You need to be nicer to me. You need to help me through it. There's something here that needs to be understood today. The person who has depression, it's your journey and you are walking it alone, and you need to take responsibility to go to the right people to integrate a better life. The people who don't have depression can try and understand it, but they will never understand it, and it needs to be accepted. And that is why we are having this discussion today. Because what did I do, Dr. Julia? I got up from the carpet, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, you have to change. It has to change. Aldi, you need to do something. Yes, you were there for me. Yes, we did the drips. Yes, I took my medication. Yes, a lot of people helped me. Yes, I ran my barge. But ultimately, I had to get up from the carpet and rescue myself. I had to release the expectation of other people not understanding me and not willing or wanting to help me. And that was very powerful, and that was a very big step in my life, to stop blaming and start changing, to leave the victim status and to go into self-empowerment. So what you are saying is, it has got a lot to do with the tools you use, the inner work, but there's 4 levels of integration that must take place when someone comes and says, I have depression. And then we have depressions that can be short-lived, that can be sorted out, that can be triggered by something. And then we have people that have had depression for many years, and that is also a different journey.
Yes, I would tell you, when you have a very long-term depression, usually it's create certain pathological signals in your brain, which through the spinal cord send again bad signals to your inner organs. So usually it's a problems with the spleen, it's a problems with anemia, with the blood, problems with the blood, problems with immune system when you start to be sick more often. And that's why actually you need to see. Sometimes people, they don't understand they're depressed, but look into your body, how your body feeling now. Are you feeling exhausted? Are you wake up and you don't want to you physically can't do and struggling? It's already your physical body in depression. That's why it's not only mental, it's also you must see how what diseases, what new symptoms you have now, and it could be symptoms because of inner depression.
Yes, because I will tell you that when you and I started the journey and we made my body strong, and we started addressing also the physical body, making the body more stronger to support me, I could put more work into the spiritual and emotional side of me. But when I was continuously feeling sick and my body was weak, it made me more depressed. It made it worse. So what I want to say to the viewers today is, depression can be overcome. I overcame it. After many years, you know, I overcame it.
And you will be completely different person after that.
You can overcome it, but it takes work.
Every day
of your life. Every day of my life. Yes, I live a life of ease, joy and glory, but I use my tools. I use everything available to me in an integrative process. I managed my life. I manage my lifestyle, I manage my emotions, I do the tools, I look after my body. It's all an integrational process. Yes, there's nothing wrong with medication. Medication does have its place, medication does support, but in my opinion, medication is 30% of the total integration of what you need to look at.
How I see how antidepressants working now. I think they make you completely numb. You can talk with these people. They're actually not happy people. They're numb. They're completely numb and neutral whole day. This is a problem. I think that everything what was the reason of your depression, you're still hiding. And it's still growing. It's still growing in the future diseases. Autoimmune diseases, cancer, tumor, or something. Depression, if you don't treat depression properly and with a reason, to remove the reason as well, changing personalities, it will move to other diseases in the many, many years. It will not just be suppressed and treated with antidepressants. That's why you need to really to take again responsibility and start to treat the root problems. And to find the root problems, it could be from your parents, childhood, it could be from your situation which was very traumatic, that we need to use certain trauma treatments, yes, like access bar and everything. Otherwise, it will move to quite negative side and it will create new disease, because this pathological signal still circulating in your body every day, every second. And antidepressants make you numb. Your brain just can't see that you're depressed now anymore, but depression is still sitting in your body, in your physical, emotional, and mental.
You are right. And we are going to talk next week about anxiety. And Dr. Julia and I are going to share my story with my toxoplasmosis, because I could not understand why I had anxiety all my life, and it was just an unwelcome friend living in my brain that caused it. Because a lot of times we want to look at life and we want to say, I am depressed because this happened to me, or I'm depressed because that happened to me. But sometimes it can just be something physical in your body.
Yes, parasites can create also depression. Parasites, a lot of fungus, they also create depression.
Yes.
But it's like just half part of that, not only a whole picture. So, but we need, as I told you, we need to work. We need to make in a strong physical body. Depression can't exist. That's why, of course, if people come here, we check and work with parasites. Work with our drips help for parasites and for fungus.
And the big thing about depression for me is, and this was my lesson, I had to accept the fact that I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for my life. I am going to have to be the one, the prince on the horse, to come and rescue myself.
Yes.
I have had to learn a very hard lesson, to take responsibility, to say, what am I going to choose in this moment, and how am I going to show up for myself to make my life easier for me? Because as long as we sit and we hope that someone else will come and save us, someone else will come and rescue us, someone else will come and heal us, the depression will just get worse. Yes. Because we give our power away. And every Facebook Live always has the same theme, and that is, take responsibility for yourself, take responsibility for your life, and choose different options. Do research and make other choices, because wellness, emotional wellness, body wellness, physical wellness, it's all about the journey you take, the journey you embark on for yourself, with yourself.
But I would tell you, when you win of depression, you will be so amazing, strong person, because you will see world completely in a different colors.
Oh, you know it.
Yes, that's why. But I just tell you that it will make you better. It will make you better when you over. It makes you better when you over your depression. You will see that it will be amazing journey, because new people will come to your life, and new opportunities will come to your life. You completely change everything. But of course, it is every day work. Maybe when you just start your journey, you can say, oh, it's so long journey, what can I do? Just start it and do it regularly. After that, you will see how your life change. Everything will change.
It does. It truly does. I can tell you that my life has changed completely.
Yes.
The minute I decided, and that is why I wrote my book. Because I would like to give people hope and share my story, and it takes a lot to be vulnerable and to share your story with people, and to say, sure, if I now write a book and I say to people, I have been depressed, will they now come to me as a wellness practitioner? Will they trust me? Will they think, oh, how can we come to someone who has been depressed? But I know what it feels like, and I know how to overcome it, and I know the journey that you walk when you have got depression. But I also know that you can overcome it if you choose to. But you need to ask for help from the right people. I did not overcome it alone. I had you. I had a lot of supportive people in my life, friends, people who understood, therapists, counselors, who helped me through it. And I integrated all of it and put in the inner work. And a lot of times clients will come here and they are depressed. And we run their bars and we give them a drip and we give them the medication. But then they go home and they don't put in the work.
Yeah, then yes.
And then it's not successful, and then there's disappointment. And it's very important that everyone understands it takes work. You go to the gym every day, Dr. Julia, it's not always pleasant to exercise your body and to be nice and strong. I mean, when you have to pick up the weights, it's tiring, but that exercise that you do in the gym, it's good for you. Everything in life takes work. And maintenance and a daily effort. It is what it is.
Yes.
It's the choices that we make, the people we surround ourselves with, the tools we use, and how we integrate everything in our life to live a life with ease, joy, and glory. The tools are all there. It's the person that has depression that needs to make the choice. If you are lucky enough to have a person in your life that sees you have depression, and that person can maybe help you or support you. So what Dr. Julia will say is, if you are maybe in a relationship with someone or a partner, or you see the depression in your child or in your friend, send them to the right people. Share this video. Look for research. Look for integration therapies available. There's a lot of assistance out there. But ultimately, that person who has the depression needs to take the first step.
You can't just take him and bring him. No. He must say, no, I want, please help me. This is what he needs. If he does not want, and if he does not see he needs help, sorry, it's useless. You can't really force people to heal if they don't want help.
No. And if they don't want to change, I remember waking up in the morning feeling depressed, but not wanting to feel that way. I woke up one morning and I said, enough, I don't want this. I want joy, I want ease, I want happiness, I want to live a life where I don't have this heaviness over me. Enough. And thank you that I had the courage and the energy and that all the right people were sent to help me, because you have to come to a point where you say, I don't want it anymore. It's the same with alcohol abuse. It's the same with drug abuse. It's the same with anything that affects your life in a negative way. You have to come to a point to say, enough.
Yes, yes. But this is enough must be so strong and deep inside. Yes. And it's fine if you don't finish this journey, you can come again and again and again, because for some people it's shorter. I would tell you, you're very all life depressed and you came over this very short.
It took me about 20 years.
Yeah, yes. But some people do it quicker, some people do it slowly. It's individual. Fine. Yes, it's completely fine. You just need to start and want to change something in your life.
If it's your choice. Because at the end of the day, we all have free will.
Yes.
And we all have the ability to choose what we want in our life. So yes, we are here. We are here to support people, to show them the way, to inspire people, to give the tools.
And tell me please, what information did you put into your book about depression?
I told the story of how I felt. I told the story of all the emotions I went through, and I told the story of how you helped me, you and other people. I told the story, and in my book I give all the tools. I give the tools of exactly what I did step by step, and how I went through the journey, and how I started to feel it lift, the expansion, and how everything started to get better. And you said something very interesting the other day as you were giving one of our clients a drip. We were saying that life will always have lessons. That's why we are here. We are here to learn. But you said something so powerful. You said, but now we go quicker and quicker and quicker through the lesson. And it was such a beautiful thing that you said, because it's not to say that we are all wrapped in cotton wool and we have these amazing lives that the TV or the magazines say, this is what you must look like to be happy. The lessons will always be there. But having the tools and the support system, we go through the lessons quicker, we go through them easier, and we
with
go
less traumas.
yes, with less trauma, and we go through them with awareness.
Awareness, yes.
Because it's all about self-actualization, awareness, and taking responsibility, as you always say. And when you said that, you gave me so much hope again. Because I go through moments where I think, oh, there's now another lesson, it's hard. And then I hear your words and I say to myself, Aldi, you go through it much quicker now, with less trauma, with less drama,
And more benefits.
and with
actually.
more benefits than you went through it 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years ago. Because what are we doing? We are making different choices. We are in awareness. Our bodies are more healthier, and we have support systems that we've built for ourselves.
Yes.
So you are such an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe I never had such a big problem as depression. Maybe I'm just a little bit different. I can't tell strong or something. We can't tell who is the weakest or something different. I had my other lessons. But I would tell you, I remember you when you were depressed, and the person who you are now, completely, it's two different women. Two different.
Yeah, but I needed you in my life. Because you were strong.
Yes.
And you said to me, no, and you're not going to give up. Write for me the feelings. I'll never
Yes,
forget
yeah, I
it.
remember.
Write the feelings, and you were strong with me. You were
Yes.
not a depressed person, and you were what I needed in that moment. You were a strong person, and you helped me to also become strong and get through it.
I was like your stick, which
Yes,
you hold
and
and
you
stand
didn't
up.
baby me. You didn't baby me.
No,
and
no,
you
no,
didn't
no.
wipe my bumps.
No.
You told me, Aldi, I'm here, but we are going to be strong and we are going to get through this. And that is how we are all used as instruments in this life to support one another. And all of us have got different journeys, and all of us have got different lessons.
Yes, and I would tell you, with each person, depressed person, I work differently.
Yes.
Because somebody needs like you here and be motivated. Some of them, they need to work a little bit softer, and it's completely fine, because everybody has his own depression.
And everybody has to be supported in the best way for them.
Yes.
And when they are ready, it will integrate.
Yes, please come. We will talk, explain, and you need to come and feel energy here, because it's very important for depressed person to trust the doctor, to trust the healer, to trust the person which you open your heart, open your soul. It's very important. That's why just come, talk, feel. If it resonates, come to us, and yeah, we will tell you more about your depression.
Because there's hope. There's always hope, and it can change. If you want something to change, it will. And I will tell you, I do not have any doubt when a client visits us and they are truly dedicated, that there will not be a positive shift for them in their life if it's their choice. May all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Julia.
Pleasure. Thank you.